Ahmed Al Maghribi, another one of my favorite affordable Middle Eastern houses, a very popular brand too. Here we have 7 fragrances, I believe, and 2 samples that I forgot I had. So we'll get right into those. But first, just a quick announcement. Apologies for the audio quality. I am recording from my phone. The point of this channel was not to make super overproduced, over edited videos, just give it to you straight and raw, so to speak. But I will be getting a mic soon to kind of increase that quality for the videos for you guys. But again, the point was just to get this video out and just give it to you straight. So let's get straight into it with, I think we'll start with this sample. It's called Oud Lavender. Haven't really heard of this. Oh, we got top notes, everything here already. So top notes, I don't know if you can see that. This is a 3mm sample, milliliter. Hyacinth. I'm not sure what that is. I think it's a flower. We have lavender, fruits, hearts of iris, jasmine, pink pepper, base of vetiver, amber, oud, and musk. So it seems like a floral oud. Let's get this out, test it. Love when they give us samples. Okay, this is unbranded. Interesting. Let's get it on test paper real quick. We're not gonna test the atomizer or anything. These are just kind of cheap sample bottles. Ooh, that is great. I know this is, I'm looking at it up online. It says it's unisex, but it's heavy on the floral, so I can see how this is leaning floral, or leaning feminine, I should say. Really, really heavy on the floral. Yeah, that lavender and the jasmine is just really strong on that one. I'm not getting a whole lot of oud or any of the spices or anything like that. Maybe some sweetness from the amber, but yeah, not a lot of. This just smells like a maybe slightly dark, but mostly floral here. I've got the cap here. Let's see, Fragrantica has main accords lavender, oud, fresh, spicy, aromatic, herbal. And then they just list the notes as lavender and oud. Clearly that's wrong. Fragrantica can get things wrong oftentimes, but I'm sure this will dry down and I'll get more of the notes later, but just first impressions, this is really good, but probably not for me. A little feminine leaning. It's just mostly flowers for me. I'm not getting that oud that I like. And Ahmed Al Maghribi has some great oud fragrances, but let's get right into this one. This one's very famous from this house. Oud and Roses. Pretty simple oud and rose. Let's see what we have here. Another 3ml. Extrait de Parfum. Which one was this one? This is Eau de Parfum, so this is a little stronger, more oil content. Top notes of Turkish rose, lavender, lemon peony, heart of sandalwoods, white floral and frankincense, and base of agarwood, which is oud, gaiac wood, oak moss, musk, and amber. So not just oud and roses. Got a little more stuff in there. Let's see. Let's get this on paper as well. Don't spray bad for little sample bottles. Immediately you're hit with that blast of rose. And again, not getting a lot of that oud though. But this is very familiar smelling. Like if you've been to the Middle East and smelled any kind of typical traditional Middle Eastern scent, you're smelling this. The real bottle has a nice design to it. Nothing stands out to me. I can see how it's popular from the brand, but it's okay, you know. Again, I'll give us a full wearing as much as I can from this little tiny sample, but I'll truly see why it's really popular there. But let's see, main accords, oud rose, floral, fresh, spicy, and citrus. And again, they have the notes as just rose and oud. Thanks for Grantica. Okay. Let's get right into another popular fragrance here. Let's get Marj. This is a straight de parfum, 60 mils. This is really nice. I've gifted this to some of my lady friends. They really like it. This smells like, I'm just gonna spoil it a little bit now. This smells like a Middle Eastern woman. It's really, really heavy too. Manufactured first of the month of this year, 2025. Anything else on here? Nope. All right, let's get this open. Okay, opens from here. I don't want to make these videos too long. All right, so we have Extrait de Parfum, 60 milliliters. This is like a suede-like kind of bottle here. Really nice. A cylinder like that. The fragrance comes out of that, kind of like the Louis Vuitton bottles, except different. All right, so here's what the bottle looks like. Really interesting bottle design. These things kind of, I don't think you're supposed to do that, but kind of reminds me of a squid or something. And this is also that same suede material here. So let's get this on paper. I've opened this already. I know what it smells like. This is really good. I've researched what, you know, popular brands from, or fragrances from each brand, and this one and Laathani that we'll talk about in a second, those were like the top two that I had to get immediately. And smelling it at the booth at Dalma Mall, it was instant cop there. So 2 sprays is a little too much. I just want to show you the atomizer there, but pretty good atomizer. I can already smell in the air, man. Jeez. Oh my gosh, this is like, out of all my fragrances, this is gonna be in the top 5 for sure. It's just so complex and dark and heavy. Like you have to almost do a half spray for this and you'll be good for the entire day, man. This is, again, I know this is popular with the women, but a man can definitely pull this off. This is, that oud in here is great, man. All right, let's see. We got main accords, woody, amber, white floral, sweet, warm, spicy, definitely animalic, musky, oud, honey, and balsamic. A lot of notes here. We got oud, honey, pink pepper, nutmeg, alamy, bergamot, and mandarin in the top notes. Middle notes, cashmere wood, orange blossom, saffron, jasmine, patchouli, cinnamon, and vetiver. And we got base notes, more agarwood, saffron, ambergris, leather, raspberry, oak moss, amber, sandalwood, musk, violet, and pear. Or pear, I should say. Wow, so a whole mouthful, but this is blended so beautifully. Like I can't really pick my nose on any certain fragrance, but definitely that oud is coming out a lot, and the sweetness, I guess, from the honey. Honey, saffron, leather, oud. That's what I'm getting from this, and just florals and spices in the background. This is really, really nice. If you want to get yourself like, this is the Middle East, this is what it is. Like you walk past like a Middle Eastern woman and she has her like her fragrance on, she's gonna wear something like this. This is amazing. But again, I've worn this a lot as a man, and this is also really good. You're not gonna smell like a woman, I guess. That's what you care about. All right, let's get on to this guy here. All right, this guy looks a lot like this one. This is a newer release. I believe this came out in 2025. I'll look that up in a second. This one's called Ahal, I believe, or Al. I'm not really quite sure how to say that. Similar looking bottle. They probably just kind of copied the bottle because from the success of this one, they kind of want to get it off of that. So let's see. Also, Extrait de Parfum, or this one's Extrait de Parfum. The other one was Extrait. Actually, no, they're both extraits. This is 40% volume, 60 mil. So these are actually made in the UAE as well, so that's good. So this has like a gold, this is pink and gold instead of like the white and pink here. Let's pull up the notes for this one. Let's get this on paper. So I heard this is somewhat similar. I've opened this box just to save some space, but I haven't actually sprayed it yet. See, the thing is already turned around. I have to do that with all my fragrances. It's like ADHD at that point. Let's see. heard this is similar, but with slight differences. And an interesting added note to it. Let's see if I can figure this out. Oh wow, this is, what does that smell like? It also almost smells like children's medicine, but not in a bad way. It's really punchy with this intro right here. It's almost like a candy or like a children's medicine. This is not heavy on that oud and spice. It is definitely sweet and floral. Definitely leaning more sweet and floral, not heavy for men. This is leaning more floral or more feminine. What is that? It's like a fruit, almost like a, I don't know, some kind of, maybe ylang ylang or something. Interesting tropical fruit there. This is, I couldn't even say this is a flanker of it. This is way different. This is a toned down on the heaviness, boosted with that floral and the fruits. It is tropical fruits, that's how I'd say. So let's see, on Fragrantica, which is not 100% accurate, but we have sweet, floral. Yeah, sweet, I can see how that's on top. Floral, woody, amber, citrus, fruity, vanilla, white floral, aromatic, powdery. As I say, yep, launched in 2025. So let's see, ooh, a lot of notes here again. We got pink pepper, banana, interesting. Maybe that's what I'm smelling, that's so different, that banana. Yeah, that's what that is. It's like a banana candy, like those little runts. That's what that is. Yeah, I don't really eat a lot of candy, but that's what that's reminding me of. It's like a yellow runts candy, but not super synthetic. I know that's not the best appealing description, but all right, let's get into these notes here. Pink pepper, banana, raspberry, lavender, cardamom, angelica root, bergamot, melon, Brazilian orange, and coconut. And you're not really getting all the coconut there. I'm getting a little creaminess though. Yeah, middle notes, cashmere wood, orange blossom, cyclamen, magnolia, iris, marine notes, rose, patchouli, jasmine, tulip, lily of the valley, and base notes of oud, tonka, amber, vanilla, sandalwood, caramel, white musk, and moss. Yeah, they saving those heavier notes for the base. Right now, still very light, floral and sweet. I'm sure when it dries down, you'll get more into that oudy and oud creaminess and musk. Yeah, not a bad fragrance. I'd say this is for a man if you want like a more unisex leaning fragrance compared to these two, the Oud Lavender and this one. I'd say this one's more wearable for a unisex kind of vibe. This one is a little too floral for me. This one it's very well blended like the Marj, and it's not just a bunch of floral sweetness. All right, I'd say nothing is a loss so far. What shall we do next? Let's do the second popular one. Let's do Laathani here. Huge box again. Interesting design. It's like a, I don't know, like a ceramic looking, that's what kind of reminds me of. Ceramic countertop looking thing. Extrait de parfum here. Can we get a manufacture date? 55% volume and nothing really else of significance. Let's get this open. I've also opened this before, so I know what this smells like. There it is, I see it. Manufactured 3/18/2025. So that's March 18th. Got this nice cardboard here, black. Let's get this open. Oop. Again, this was in transit, so everything's not like secure in its place, but opens beautifully like this with a magnetic opening. So what I remember from this is being 80 milliliters, straight to pop. Whoop, that was very loud. Sorry, this cap fell. Let's see. Yep, same kind of details there. I remember this being very sweet and fruity to me with oud. That was a long time since I've smelled this, but I could be wrong. I also remember the employee there at the booth at Dalma telling me it was much darker than what it was, but I just remember this being very fruity and oud, and I really liked it, but I didn't get like a really heavy oud like he was saying, but I didn't really wear this one too much. But let's see, let's get this on paper. Ooh, that's way more volume with that spray on this one. Oh, okay. This is smelling different now. Oh, that is great. This is bringing me back, man. This is also Middle East in a bottle right here. Wow, yeah, okay, I remember why now I put this down. I tested it because it smelled so good in store, but when I went back home, I didn't want to like keep spraying it because it's very heavy. It was not well for the heavy Middle Eastern summer that I was there for. But yeah, this starts off really heavy on the incense and oud, and then it is I still get fruit from this. This is very fruity. Not overly synthetic fruit, but if you like, I don't know, I can smell fruit in the background. It's like a fruity incense with oud. That's what I'm getting from this. Really, really good, man. I don't even know which one's better, Marj or Laathani. Oh man, it's so close. I think almost this is slightly beating it, but these can go interchangeably any day. Let's see, main accords, oud, fresh, spicy, aromatic, leather, woody, and animalic. Interesting, wow. So they only have on fragrance, again, take it with a grain of salt. They only have middle notes, oud, rosemary, and base notes of bahor, which is like incense and leather, so. No fruits listed, but to really think about a spiced, perfumed incense that's perfumed with fruit, like a fruit basket, and oud. That's really what this smells like. This is very Middle Eastern. I wouldn't say blind buy safe if you're not used to that, but you're not gonna hate it if you have an open mind, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, really great. I'd say that's my number 2 right there. Let's see. Let's get this Ignite Oud. So a little for me at least, I picked up Ignite Oud and Summer Oud, and I feel like they should be swapped. This is more for the summer. It is a slightly summery, but this I feel like is more appropriate for the summer. So same kind of box there. I think it was just like white and green. That's why I didn't keep it, but I've used it before. Let's see. This is an Eau de Parfum, concentration 60 ml. I remember liking this a lot. Ooh. See, might be a little pressurized on that one. Yeah, man, this is citrusy, fruity, oudy. Yeah, I like that. That's how we'll describe this. I've heard a lot of people say this is compared to what is that fragrance? It comes with that Oud Maracuja. Yeah, so with the fruits, the passion fruit and oud. I don't get a lot of passion fruit from this. It is fruity, but I can't really say it's for sure passion fruit. I say this is more tone the passion fruit down, I guess, add more citrus, and then a more realistic, oudy, kind of leathery. I'd say more leathery than oud, honestly. Very wearable, like this is honestly very wearable for all seasons, especially summer. I know it says oud in it, but it's really good. All right, main accords, woody, leather, good. Fresh, spicy, aromatic, animalic, warm, spicy, amber, powdery, patchouli, and earthy. Okay. Top notes of leather and geranium. Middle notes, patchouli, cedar. Base notes, amber, sandalwood, musk, and moss. Interesting. So no oud listed at all and no fruit either. So I haven't really smelled a pure geranium, so I don't, maybe that has like a fruity vibe to it, I'm not sure. But the only thing looking at the notes I get is like leather and amber and some musk. But to me, again, really it has citrus, fruity, oudy. That's the three I'm going with right there. That's really good there. One of my faves from the brand. And let's compare that to the summer oud here. I don't know if that's just the name of it or they're actually promoting it, saying it's good in the summer, but I didn't really get that vibe. Let's see, February 2025, Oud Parfum concentration. And this is 60 ml. Ooh, interesting design here, I forgot about that. Okay, same kind of stuff on the back. Really nice design here. It's like a watercolor kind of box here. Okay, let's get that open. I think it just lifts up from the top. Okay, so at the top there, you have the fragrance sitting safely secure in the foam. Let's get this on paper. Same bottle design. This one is just brown. I'm just gonna spray one. Okay, yeah, this is way more traditional smelling. This one I actually get like true oud in this one. Oud and incense. This one's good, almost similar to Laathani, but this one is like a little bit fresh as well. Maybe some amber in there. Fresh, oud, leather, and incense. This one's great. And this is why I'm saying like this one is more suitable for summer, I would say. The name should be flipped because it has like, to me at least, citrus and fruits. This one I'm not getting any citrus or fruit, just typical, those traditional smelling notes there. So let's see what they have on Fragrantica. Leather, oud, warm spicy, amber, woody, rose, citrus, earthy, smoky, and musky for the chords there. Interesting they didn't have citrus for the Ignite Oud. Let's see the top notes: saffron, mandarin orange, incense, cypriol. Middle notes of rose, cashmere wood, caramel, amber, patchouli. Base notes: oud, leather, musk, oak moss, and vetiver. Okay, very interesting with the mandarin orange there, but as you can see, very traditional, typical Middle Eastern notes there: saffron, rose, oud, incense, and leather and musk. This one's very, very good, man. And it's not so traditional where it's like I've smelled this before. This is done in a different way. This is not your traditional like oud rose kind of. No disrespect to that one, but this is way different. Wow, this dry down is actually smelling kind of different, but I'll get into that in a different video. I'm not, this is just first impressions here. All right, let's make this video a little faster. All right, let's go with two more fragrances here. Let's get this Shaikha Hind. So this is Hindi oud. That's why I picked it up. I love the really skanky ouds. And this is made 7/17 or 7/15/2025. Oud Parfum, and this is a 50 milliliter. So this is gonna be, from what I remember, a sprayable like pure oud. So it's gonna be really, really stinky. So I'm saving this for the end so I don't ruin my taste buds. Or nose, I guess. I'm not tasting it. Don't taste any of these, please. Or do what you want. All right. That is four-leaf clover design here, I guess. And a white simple box. Let's see here, just the website. Okay, yeah, I remember how this bottle looks. I smelled it in store once and just picked it up because it was pretty cheap and I like the scent of it. but I haven't tried it. It's been a while since I've seen this. Very interesting bottle design here. Yeah, fix that later. Has the same design here with the gold. Let's get that on camera. It's like a interesting shape here. All right, let's get this out here. Big atomizer. Have to prime it a little bit. Ooh, kind of missed it there. I didn't mean to spray that much, but the atomizer is kind of acting funky, but it could be just because it's new. All right, in the air, I'm getting something very interesting. This is, this is kind of, I remember smelling very differently in stores. This is kind of plasticky. Plastic, oud, and Flintstones vitamins. That's what this is. And kind of spicy. This is very, very interesting. And I'm not gonna say anything yet. Let's see. Let's read these notes. Main accords, oud, warm spicy, fresh spicy. And we just have notes of Indian oud and Indian spices. Interesting. All right. Not a lot to go off with here. Again, I'm hoping that this just kind of dries down to something different, or maybe with some time to actually macerate, it smells a little better, but not my favorite, I'll say. This doesn't even really smell that like heavy on the oud. It's mostly kind of just weird spices and really like that Flintstone vitamin smell. Okay, no disrespect or anything like that, but that's gonna be on the bottom for me. And I like Hindi oud, but I don't smell anything from that one. All right, let's get on to this last one here. Got Eau de Parfum. This is Qadeem oud, I believe. Let's see. Dehn Al Oud Qadeem, actually, from the website. 40 milliliters Eau de Parfum. So this is another sprayable. Dehn Al Oud usually comes in like a liquid pure oud format. This is a sprayable parfum version. I'm hoping I get that real skanky oud from this one. I believe this is Indian oud as well. Again, from the store, they seem to have made really good ouds. It's an interesting little design here when the light hits the box, so to speak. Let's get this open. Okay, small bottle here, but hopefully it's deadly. That's how I like my ouds. You see the Qadeem here. This is very soft plastic, light for the top, but that's fine. Don't care about the box. Yeah, this is very light there. All right, don't let me down. Atomizer's way better. Okay, yes, this is what I wanted from the previous one. This is straight up Indian oud in a sprayable format. Yeah, this is very, very skanky, barnyardy, fecal, pungent oud right there. And that is gonna be a perfect layering tool, or just wearing that by itself and letting it dry down. That's gonna be great. Not for everybody, of course. Do not blind buy that. Main accords, oud, fresh, spicy. And then we have notes of just Indian oud. So perfect, that's exactly what I wanted from this. Of course, with ouds though, you're not just gonna get that experienced nose. Once it dries down, you'll get like a lot of things will come out from it. These really royal smelling musks and incensey kind of smell. Sometimes they're fruity too. You can get like woody vibes. you know, it's just all how it's manufactured and aged. But that's really nice there. Way better than this Shaikha Hind or whatnot. So that's oh, forgot about these. This is a Bahor, I believe. Yep. Glad I got this with the samples. Not really gonna review this, but you can kind of feel it there. I'm glad they gave me that. It's and this, I received this at a perfume expo. It's called, let me see, what was it called? It was in Abu Dhabi. It's called Dehn Al Hazim. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but a bunch, it was like 100 brands there. And I saw Ahmed Al Maghribi, and I actually saw the same employees at Dama Mall there, so they were really, they recognized us too, because we go there all the time. But yeah, really, they're really gracious. They didn't have anything new there. Some of the brands had like new perfumes that they were only selling there or whatnot. Everything we kind of already smelled, but again, they were very gracious in giving us these gift boxes. So I haven't opened this. I've been saving it for you guys. I don't know what's inside, but let's just see real quick what's in there. The expo was really interesting though. People were walking out with carts and carts of things, of perfume, but honestly, interesting how it opens up like that. Dama Mall is still where it's at. I only walked out with 2 fragrances that I'll review later from my house. All right, inside we got some more Bahor. I don't know if it's the same one. Okay, that's good. And we got more Oud Roses. And this looks like a new one, Rose Noir. And that's it. Again, no, not complaining. This is great. I'm a lot of free samples. I appreciate that. I can, let's see. Let me. Oh, didn't mean to move the camera there. Sorry about that, guys. The amateur show going on here. Let's get this on paper real quick, just for you guys. Ooh, look at that color. It's way different than the other ones. I'll try to find this on fragrance here real quick, but let's get this on paper. I don't want to make this video too long. It's already 30 minutes. Looks like it's leaking a little bit. This is a sweet rose. That's what I'm getting from this. The rose is actually kind of light, but very traditional smelling. This is, yeah. This is not just for women. I've smelled men in the Middle East that smell exactly like this rose scent. I would probably layer this too, but this is good on its own as well. This is really nice. Yeah, not what I expected. I was expecting a really, especially with the pink floral bottle, just a feminine over sweet rose, but this is really good. Let me see if I can try to find it real quick on the website for you guys. Rose Noir, here we go. So this is actually targeted towards women. We got powdery, musky, white floral, citrus, woody, vanilla, amber, marine, animalic, and sweet. We have notes of jasmine, Sicilian orange, ginger, middle notes, powdery notes, vanilla bean, sea notes, base notes of musk, ambergris, sandalwood, and cashmere. I'll need to spray this. I feel like this is more of a skin scent. On paper it's kind of almost dissipating, but I'll add this to the full review. I'll wear this as much as I can and get a good review for you guys. Yeah, I'm interested to see the marine and sea notes in there. On here they actually have something different. Top notes: Italian orange, jasmine, ginger, heart of vanilla beans, powder and sea accords, and base of ambergris, cashmere, sandalwood, and musk. So yeah, we'll test that one out as well, and I'll show you guys all about that. And oh, lastly, I forgot about this. This is just a bag that I got, but what I've been doing for my trip in the Middle East, going to all these perfume brands, I've just been getting so many test strips. That's how crazy I am. But I really want to test something out before I buy it, so, and I end up still buying 80 colognes. But big review coming for all these perfumes individually. Stay tuned for that. Subscribe, follow all the socials and all that, yada, yada, yada. Thanks for watching.